it is chapter 2, text 65. Sheetal, would you like to read the Sanskrit?
Prasade prasade sarva dukkhanam hanirasthopajayate prasanna chetaso yashu buddhi paryavatishtate.
Walked out after Guru Murthy prodded him about his complicated relationship with his father, Robert Downey Sr. and his...
So for one thus satisfied in Krishna consciousness, the threefold miseries of material existence exist no longer. In such satisfied consciousness, one's intelligence is soon well established. Now Krishna says that in this material world, each and every living entity at each and every moment is faced with three kinds of miseries. Does anybody remember what are the three kinds of miseries?
Adi-Devik, Adi-Bhautik, and Adi from self, from the nature, Adi-Devik, Adi-Bhautik, and Adi-Adhyatmik, is it?
Yeah. And what does that mean?
From the self, we get from the miseries from the within, from the self, from others, and from the nature.
Yeah, so from the self means when we get physical disease or mental disease, our mind is always also so much anxiety, so much fear, or we'll have some physical disease. Yeah, either that or some other people could be like somebody is being rude to us, angry at us, or, you know, even an animal, mosquito bite or something. So that's coming from others. And then from the material nature, like from the higher cause, maybe some typhoon, earthquakes, like that. So Krishna says that in this material world, each and every living entity is undergoing any one of these three miseries at every moment. So there is not even one moment in this material world that we can be away from this misery. You know, I mean, just imagine, we are trying to find happiness here. We are trying to find happiness, but actually these three miseries are there at each and every moment. We are under the effect of these three miseries. But Krishna says that one who is taken up Krishna consciousness, then he is no longer affected by these three miseries. So the only way that we can get rid of these three miseries is we should get more and more Krishna conscious. So does it mean that if I'm Krishna conscious, if I'm chanting, I'm trying to chant Hare Krishna, read the Bhagavatam, the mosquito will not bite me? Or there will not be any earthquake in the city that I'm staying? Is that what it is? Anyone? No, the mosquito is still gonna bite me. And if somebody has to rude to me, they'll still be rude to me. And my mind will still be, you know, I will still get physical diseases. Not that because we are trying to be devotees, the physical disease won't be there. No, we will still have all these things. But what will happen is that the way we face these miseries will be different. We won't feel the pain of it. We won't get so affected by it. Why? Because then we are depending on Krishna. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not sure if you'll have had this personal experience, but the more we hear and chant about Krishna, to that degree, the externals don't affect us so much. Sure, we have to do our duties, we have to do everything, but they don't affect us in a way that they used to affect us before. So that is the proof. What Krishna is saying is true. You know, we are still going to get old, we are still going to get physical diseases or mental distress, but then we'll know, okay, Krishna is there, you know, that he's our shelter. We somehow or the other, in the moment we might get carried away, of course. Some of us might still get carried away, but it will be easier to come back to Krishna. Okay, so text 66. Nasti buddhi ayuktasya na cha yuktasya bhavana na cha bhavayatah shantir ashantasya kuta sukham. One who is not connected with the Supreme in Krishna consciousness can have neither transcendental intelligence nor a steady mind. without which there is no possibility of peace. And how can there be any happiness without peace? Now, we are all trying to be happy and we are all trying to be peaceful. There is so much energy. United Nations, Prabhupada would love to speak about the UN. He would say so much energy is being put up in the UN, but where is the peace actually? Where is the unity? We are all wanting that, peace and happiness. So Krishna is saying here that one who is not in Krishna consciousness does not have transcendental intelligence. And the mind is always going to be disturbed. Why is the mind always disturbed if we are not practicing Krishna consciousness? Because then the mind is only seeking shelter for anything material. And everything material is temporary. It's always changing, always changing. So if I say my shelter is, it could be anything, that, the source of my strength. Suppose I say, the source of my strength is myself, my own body, then I'm going to do it. But then our own body, what will happen if suppose I really fall sick and I can't do anything? Then I'll go crazy, I was so fully dependent on my own body, but now I'm sick. But same, if we depend on Krishna, then our mind will be steadier. And then because we have a steady mind, automatically we'll find peace. And then when we are peaceful, it's easier to be happy. And Krishna is the source of all happiness. So let's read the purport. Unless one is in Krishna consciousness, there is no possibility of peace. So it is confirmed in the 5th chapter, 5.29, that when one understands that Krishna is the only enjoyer of all the good results of sacrifice and penance, that he is the proprietor of all universal manifestations, and that he is the real friend of all living entities, then only can one have real peace. So in chapter 5, the last verse, the verse 29, Krishna says, what is the peace formula? Now we are saying that depend on Krishna, have the shelter in Krishna. Now Krishna is saying why you should make me your shelter. We are saying depend on Krishna, just depend on Krishna. Now Krishna is saying why you should depend on me. He is saying that he is the only enjoyer. Krishna is the only enjoyer of all sacrifices and penances. So all the rituals, all the yagyas, all the sacrifices, all the austerities we do actually is for the pleasure of Krishna. We may know it, we may not know it, but he is the one. And he's the proprietor of all universal manifestations. Who is creating this material world? Who's creating the spiritual world? We might think we are doing it, but is it true? No, we can't even create a seed. We can't create a living cell. So how can we create this big, the one planet, Earth planet, or create so many unlimited planets? We are reading in Srimad Bhagavatam that how all these unlimited planets are coming out from the body of Mahavishnu. So he is the proprietor. He's creating them. So of course he is the owner, and we think we are the owner. We think we are the owner of this body. We think we are the owner of our senses. That is our misconception. And what else does Krishna says? That he is the real friend of all living entities. He is our best friend, and that's how he is in each and every one of our hearts as Paramatma. No matter what body we take, no matter what our desires are, he never ever leaves us. Can you imagine? I mean, imagine if we are in a relationship with somebody we love very dearly, and then that person loves us so dear, even though we are rude to them. In our material relationships, we've seen if we are rude to somebody, we keep angry at them, shout at them, don't give them anything, ignore them. How long will they be with us? How long will they be friends with us? But for Krishna, we have been ignoring him and sometimes even blaspheming him since time immemorial, since eternal, we are doing that to him. And yet he continues to be in our heart as our real friend, doing what is good, trying to give us good instruction, coming time and time again himself or sending his devotees that come back, come back. And when we understand this, then only we can have real peace. Therefore, if one is not in Krishna consciousness, there cannot be a final goal for the mind. Disturbance is due to the want of an ultimate goal. And when one is certain that Krishna is the enjoyer, proprietor, and friend of everyone and everything, then one can, with a steady mind, bring about peace. So we have so many thoughts going on in a day. What should I do? Should I do this? Should I do that? So many thoughts. I want to do this. I want to do that. You know, continuously, our mind is like a unlimited, you know, you feel, oh, I've done with this thought. I'm not going to think about this again. And then pops another one. It's like Pandora's box, you know, you let loose. Just something or the other keeps coming out. Never stops. But we should make the goal Krishna. When we make the goal Krishna, then the mind can be peaceful. When one is sure that Krishna is the enjoyer, I mean, think about it. How much can we enjoy, you know? Do we really enjoy? Sure, we have, our senses do get some enjoyment when we hear something or eat something, see something. But that enjoyment is unlimitedly greater when we are doing that in connection with Krishna. When we are talking about Krishna, we are enjoying more. We find it's not only enjoying, it's like happiness, it's bliss. It touches the heart. When we are engaging in sense gratification, something which is not connected to Krishna, does it actually touch our hearts? You know, that's something to think about. Does it touch our heart? Or is it that when we are connecting ourselves to Krishna, when just now we had a short kirtan, and how much it touched our hearts, you know? The same, if we are singing another song, does that touch your heart? Sure, we might feel some emotion, some wordings or something might get to us, but does it really touch our heart, you know? And continuously, if we had to sing it every day for years and years, for 20 years, 30 years, would it still continue to touch our heart? So therefore, one who is engaged without a relationship with Krishna is certainly always in distress and is without peace. However much he may make a show of peace and spiritual advancement in life. Now, this is a very tall statement by Prabhupada to make, that somebody may show that he is very peaceful. He may show, but if he's not connected to Krishna, he's not peaceful, he's actually in distress. Prabhupada is saying there's certainly always distress and is without peace. One who is not engaged in his relationship with Krishna is certain. So if we want to really find happiness and peace, we should connect ourselves to Krishna. We have an eternal loving relationship with Krishna. So nowhere else we are going to be able to find peace. Nowhere else. We can try to, we have so many shelters we have been having since time immemorial, our family, our wealth, our body, our relationships, our education, our talents. We're always trying to say that these are our shelters, but they're not actually our shelter. We have them all, then yet why do we feel distress? Yet why do we feel not at peace in spite of having them all? You know, something to think about, right? So, Krishna consciousness is a self-manifested, peaceful condition which can be achieved only in relationship with Krishna. So, Prabhupada would say that it is the duty of every human being to revive. It is our duty to revive our eternal relationship with Krishna, because we can do that only in the human form of life. You know, we can't do it when we are in another form. This human body is the suitable boat. That's where we are given this intelligence. And so we should take up this process with enthusiasm and not keep it for later. Like in the morning we were saying, time passes, we don't know when will be our last breath. So we should take up this process seriously with all enthusiasm. Chant the Hare Krishna and tell others also to chant Hare Krishna. Any questions or comments?
No, okay.
Okay, so let's read on.
I can read this one.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I can try. Indriyanam hi chartam yata mana anuvidhiyate tat asya harti pragyam vayunavam iva ambhasi.
So, as a strong wind sweeps away a boat on the water, even one of the roaming senses on which the mind focuses can carry away a man's intelligence. So Krishna is saying, unless all of the senses are engaged in the service of the Lord, even one of them engaged in sense gratification can deviate the devotee from the path of transcendental advancement. As mentioned in the life of Maharaj Ambarish, all of the senses must be engaged in Krishna consciousness, for that is the correct technique for controlling the mind. So that's a very difficult task for us to do, that all the senses have to be fixed on Krishna. And how do we do that, Here our mind is saying, oh, let me eat something, let me go here, let me do this, let me do that. What to do? How do we practically do it? Just try to remember Krishna as much as we can. Take shelter of the devotees. When we think of something, just say, Krishna, please help me, please save me. Pray to Srila Prabhupada. This is like the goal, but we are whatever position we are in. So whatever position we are in, we should not get disheartened. Never get disheartened in Krishna consciousness. Be enthusiastic. Try. Krishna sees that at least you're trying. And he will help. There was a small bird whose eggs were taken up by the ocean. And so the bird, one by one, she was drinking up the water of the ocean. And the ocean laughed at the bird and said, what are you doing? The bird said, give me back my eggs, otherwise I'm going to dry you up, So ocean laughed and said, look at your size. What can you do? You do not have the capacity to do it. Now it's true, the little bird didn't have the capacity to do it, but the little bird had very firm determination. And she continued to do that. And by her determination, she attracted the mercy of Garuda. She attracted the attention of Garuda. And Garuda came and said, my dear sister, what happened? So she said, this ocean has taken away my eggs, and the ocean is not returning them back to me. So I want to dry it up. So Garuda said, okay, I will help you. And the Garuda told the ocean, give her the eggs, otherwise I'll drink you up. And then the ocean relented, had to return back the eggs. So same, we may not have the power to do something, but just by being sincerely trying it, we will attract the mercy of Krishna. We will attract the mercy of the devotees, and they will help us. They have the power, we do not have it. But we should just have that faith that yes, they will. I just have to endeavor and they will help me. Is that okay?
Yes.
Yeah.
So that means that we have to control this. We have to try. We cannot, but we have to try to put all our senses in service of Krishna, right? We have to engage them.
Yes.
We have to try to engage them always.
Yes. And gradually,
Okay.
it will happen from the strength, the mercy, we will receive it. Gradually, it will happen. It may take time.
Okay.
Yeah. So would somebody like to read this verse?
Yes, I can.
Okay.
Tasmad yasya mahabaho nikruhitani sarvashah indriyani indriyarthebhyas tasya pragya pratisthita.
Therefore, O mighty armed, one whose senses are restrained from their objects is certainly of steady intelligence. One can curb the forces of sense gratification only by means of Krishna consciousness, or engaging all the senses in the transcendental loving service of the Lord. So we can see we are reading from Srimad Bhagavad Gita. We are hearing, we are speaking. So our senses are focused, no? They're not going here and there. Right? We are not thinking, oh, I want to eat this, or I want to listen to this. Even if we might be thinking it, we are not doing it. We are still here trying our very best to pay attention to what is Krishna saying. So in that way, automatically the senses are being curbed. Does that make sense?
Yes.
When we are engaging in Krishna consciousness, automatically the sense is not engaging in something else. When we are eating Krishna Prasad, automatically we are not eating something which shouldn't be eaten. You know?
So even if we are trying, that means that it is engaging. Krishna sees our intentions, right?
Yeah.
Even if we are trying.
Yeah, but then we shouldn't say that I'm trying since 50 years. You know, that sincerity has to be there.
Yeah.
Like we're all trying to be devotees here, right? We are all, we are not at this position. Otherwise, you know, we are, each of us is trying. That's why we are called sadhakas, practice. We are practicing. So we have to control our senses. And then so we are trying to do it, engaging the senses in the service of Krishna. So that's the reason Krishna, what Prabhupada said, you hear and chant every day and have Krishna Prasad. Chant 16 rounds and refrain from these illicit activities, right? That's what Srila Prabhupada said. And then slowly, slowly following, that's how we are following the process. We are following. And then we will get attached to hearing more and more about Krishna. To that degree, automatically we will not want to hear about other things not related to Krishna. Or even if we are hearing other things, we will bring the topic back to Krishna, relate it to Krishna.
Yeah. And then you have the mercy of the Guru, because he's also empowering you. So that will help.
Shelter of the Guru, you know.
Yeah.
Very important. Without that, we can't do anything. It's all the Guru's mercy. He gives us the spiritual strength. So for now, I encourage everyone, take shelter of Srila Prabhupada. Take his shelter, you know. Pray to him.
I think you told me, and I did. And from that day, a lot of things changed. It did. Yeah. For serving Krishna, more and more opportunities were laid in front of me, and he helped me. I mean, that was his mercy that he arranged. So I think, yes, it helped, as you said.
Yeah. Because the Guru only engages, whatever we are doing, it's all the mercy of the Guru, you know. So first we are recommended to re-establish our relationship with Srila Prabhupada, take shelter of him, and then eventually, then we need to have a living Guru. One of there's so many nice Gurus we have, you know, in ISKCON, can take initiation from them. To have that connection with Krishna. It's important. It's important. We are wanting, we have so many desires for ourselves in this. I want this in this life. I want whatever it may be, you know, material desires. We have so many. Maybe we want to have a better location, better accommodation, better body or something, but we should have that desire. I need to take initiation from a true Guru, a bona fide representative of Krishna, because it's only the mercy of the Guru. The Guru is going to take me back home, back to Godhead. So now we are taking shelter of Srila Prabhupada. We are hearing his instructions. He is the preeminent Shiksha Guru for everyone in ISKCON. Because we are hearing from him. We are hearing his teachings. We are trying to follow his teachings. You know? But then we shouldn't become that, oh, I've taken shelter of Srila Prabhupada, then that's all. No, we need a living guru also. So, as enemies are curbed by superior force, the senses can similarly be curbed, not by any human endeavor, but only by keeping them engaged in the service of the Lord. So if we are if we'll say, okay, I don't want to speak of anything because it's not good to speak anything bad, so I'm not going to speak, but it's not possible. We do have this desire to speak. How long can we keep quiet for? We'll keep quiet, then we'll start texting or we'll start writing or drawing. All that is speaking out, you know. So the only way the senses can be curbed, they can be controlled, is when we relate whatever we are talking to, connect it to Krishna. So one who has understood this, that only by Krishna consciousness is one really established in intelligence, and that one should practice this art under the guidance of a bona fide spiritual master, is called a sadhaka, or a suitable candidate for liberation. So Prabhupada is saying it here, what we were just discussing, that we should practice this art under the guidance of a bona fide spiritual master. Then we means taking up initiation, and sadhaka, we are all sadhakas, we are practicing. And then hopefully we can attract the mercy of the Lord. Pray to Srila Prabhupada. You know? So this is the secret of how to control the senses. Otherwise, if I say that I'm not going to hear anything, it's not possible. We have that desire. You know why this capability of hearing is given to us? Actually, why is this capability given to us? Bhagavatam says that this capability of hearing is given to us so that we can hear about Krishna. And then by hearing about Krishna, we will get attached to Krishna. And then we will remember him. And then we can go back to Godhead. That's the reason this capability of hearing is given. But we misuse this capability, and we try to hear so many other things unrelated to Krishna. So, any questions, comments? Anything?
I just read in Leela Amrit, is it I just wanted to share that one of the initiated devotees of Srila Prabhupada, when he was in US, left. And then Srila Prabhupada used to pray to Krishna, that Krishna, please, he could come back. And then he finally came back. And then Srila Prabhupada said that once when a guru gives initiation, it's his duty to take all of those back to Godhead. And if somehow the person is not able to continue and they leave it, then the guru prays to Krishna again and again and again. And he cries in front of Krishna. And it is so powerful that somehow that person is able to come over all the obstacles that were in his path and the reasons that he left. So they can come over. So that's why Guru is really, really powerful.
Yeah, Guru is very powerful. We have seen that some devotees who served Prabhupada very nicely initially, but later, for whatever reason, they left. But towards the end of their life, they came back. You know, we have so many of such instances. Towards the end of their life, they came back to Krishna, they came back to ISKCON, and they left their bodies remembering Krishna. Because Krishna never forgets. Somebody who's done service for Krishna, Krishna never forgets them. So even if they don't come back this life, they will come back next life. Any service we do for Krishna is never lost. Once we say Hare Krishna, Krishna will never forget. He says, oh, this person remembered me. So Krishna will make arrangements. And yes, the Guru is always wanting, because he's following the mood of Krishna, no? That's why he's so dear to Krishna, because Krishna wants everyone back. That's the mission of Krishna, and the Guru is taking up this mission of Krishna. And so that's why he's so dear to Krishna. But Prabhupada also said that if somebody is repeatedly not purposely, not taking up the process seriously, and even if he has taken initiation, then what can the Guru do? What can you do if somebody doesn't want to go? After all, it's our desire. We have the independent will, right? Each of us has the independent desire, independent will. So, if somebody really doesn't want to wake up and he's pretending to sleep, how can you wake him up then? Right?
Yeah.
So, yeah. Okay, so we can stop here for today.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. And you had a question, Visha?
Yeah, Srila Prabhupada appearance day means?
That's the day he was born.
Why is ISKCON celebrating Srila Prabhupada appearance day immediately after Janmashtami?
Because when Srila Prabhupada was born, it was the day after Janmashtami. It was Nandotsav, the day he was born. So the Vaishnav calendar always follows the lunar calendar. It's like the Chinese calendar also, you see. The Westerners, they follow the solar calendar. But the traditionally is the lunar calendar. And so that's why it's always the day after Janmashtami.
Okay, so that's why I celebrate not on the day, exact day on his birthday, not the 1st of September.
You mean according to the solar calendar?
Means according to English calendar, yes.
Yeah, according to English calendar. No, because Vaishnav days, the devotees, the Vaishnav days, the Vedic culture always follows the lunar calendar. So you can also, because even in our Sindhi, the Tipparon, that follows the lunar calendar. That's why they'll have different, every month it will be a different date. When is the full moon? When is the no moon? It follows the moon.
Okay.
So all the appearance days are even Krishna Janmashtami is not on the same solar date, right? Not according to the English. It's according to the lunar calendar.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. So we can stop here for today.
I just wanted to ask one more question, Shilpa ji. That these days we are seeing a picture of Srila Prabhupada, the old picture of Jadu Rani. Is she the same one who was the New York initiated devotee, the first one, who used to paint the paintings?
Yeah.
She's the same one.
First, I don't know if she was the
not the first one, I'm sorry, but like she was the same Jadu Rani who used to paint.
Yeah, Prabhupada used to paint like that. He used to guide her.
Okay. Thank you. Because it's so good when you're reading about somebody and when you take the darshan of that devotee, it feels so...
Feel connected. Then.
Yeah, you feel so happy and like it's a different feeling. So I thought that I'll just confirm with you that is she the same?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you so much. So let's stop. Hare Krishna. Thank you for joining in. Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Gaura Prem. Hari Hari Bol.